this is the end of week 3 in isolation and social distancing. And there's been no tears this week. I haven't cried all week, so that is a personal goal for me. um, but there's still been a lot that's been going on. That has been I think part of the reason why I've not cried is being able to spend some time at home as well. So, the end of my last set of night shifts, I was able to drop a shift because it was one in a different department and they said they didn't need me because they had enough staff. So, I was very happy about that. I managed to get home and it was just a bit like coming home from like a really weird holiday. Like, I hadn't seen my housemates for a good week, but it wasn't a holiday because obviously I was working, um, but it was nice to come back to the creature comforts and kind of be at home, like just being at home. I think talking about home comforts as well. Um, we had a little barbecue at the weekend because it was Easter, and we were able to like cook a bunch of sausages. We couldn't find burger buns and that kind of sausage roll buns, or we have hot dog buns. Um, but we had some wraps and some hummus and some like really good food that we all made together as a household. So that was super good. My housemate, like all week, she's been saying like, "Oh, it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be raining. We shouldn't do it on Sunday." But it was a really nice day. And then maybe like an hour into the barbecue, it started to rain just a little bit, and there was this huge like black cloud coming over, but it kind of like dissipated, and we were able to stay outside a little bit longer, even though it was starting to rain. So that was super cool. Another thing, I bought a whole bunch of Kinder eggs for my housemates, and I was up late and decided that that was the perfect opportunity to escort the Easter Bunny around. So quite late at night, I was hiding a couple of, or not a couple, actually it was 12. I was hiding 12 Kinder Egg surprises around my living room and the downstairs of the house. And they were all just finding them this morning, which is really fun. Another thing that I am grateful as well for is the artwork that I see in Bounds Green Station. So in my local station, there's a guy that does a lot of drawings, and he has like continued this at the next nearest station, which I go to, Wood Green. There's going to be a picture for you to see. It's like "Thank you NHS Superhero" sort of logo on it, and that's really it. Every time I get to the station, it brightens my day a bit, and sort of like gets me a bit more prepped for work and sort of staying strong in that way. So thank you for that, guys. And also, on the topic of community, I'm still super grateful for the Clap for Carers, and my street like came out in force again. Yay! The week prior, I was in the staff accommodation when the last one happened, and you could see from the top of the shard that the the shard was like illuminated blue, and it was great. It was so cool to see, and yeah, like thank you guys for coming out and clapping every Thursday that you've been doing this so far, and I hope to see a lot more of the videos that are coming from this. So please like film where you are, your street, your work, wherever. Like I feel very appreciated sort of like during those times. So thank you guys. During this time I also had to get fit tested for a different FFP3 mask. This is the new mask that I'll be wearing. I don't know whether you can hear this properly or not. It's difficult to tell what the sound sounds like outside of my own eardrums, I guess. But it's a little bit more comfortable than the other one. I've not worn this one for a full shift yet. This is the one from the fit testing. This is an FFP3 and hopefully it will protect me. We'll see. So because I had my last night shift off, I had a sleep day and then 2 days off, which was amazing. It felt so good just to be at home and do nothing and catch up on sleep and let my legs rest and all that sort of stuff. Um, and then after that, I had 2 day shifts. One of them was pretty normal actually. It was it kind of it lifted my spirits in the way that um, this is how my sort of like nursing has normally been, and it was nice to sort of like have that little piece of normality, I guess. But we're going in for some more night shifts tonight. We've got 4 in a row, so we'll see how many we actually sort of get done because 2 of them are extra ones. So depending on what staffing is, depending on how many patients we have, will depend on whether I actually complete them or not. But I'll keep you posted on that. Also this week I will be, or next week rather, I'll be staying in the staff accommodation again, because I've got these 4 nights in a row. So it'd just be easier to sort of be a little bit closer to the hospital again. Yeah, so I finished my night shifts, and then had them 2 days off, and then I had 2 day shifts, and then just another day off. Yesterday was Sunday. It was Easter weekend as well. It was lovely weather, and we got to spend some time outside at work, because we've got this tiny little balcony that we can enjoy our lunches on and breaks and things. It's literally a patio with some chairs on it, but it makes all the difference when it's nice outside and you're inside all day. So I guess I'm averaging about 50 hours a week at the moment. Um, Mostly I'm doing about 3 to 4 shifts per week, and they are each about 12 and a half hours in length, and then obviously adding on travel time an hour pre and post that makes it quite exhausting. But in terms of like our workload, so we've I think I've mentioned this before, that we've split our unit up into sort of like a positive and negative zones for COVID, which is a very sort of like standard thing to do. It seems during a pandemic. I've heard a lot of stories where hospitals have been choosing different units, different wards for cohorting their patients, and then in some hospitals make an entire floor, like a COVID floor basically, to manage the risk of spreading and to limit the factors that will sort of like lead to cross contamination between staff and that sort of thing. Yeah, when this was first kicking off, it seemed that the children weren't being as affected as the adults were, but we still prepared our hospital in a way that we were expecting there to be lots of children coming in, and the I guess the follow up to that is it seems to be that kind of a rumor, I guess, is true to some extent. I don't believe we're at the peak yet. I don't think we've had the full effects of like uh, the whole like wave of what's going to happen. But as we are seeing, like our staff sickness is not particularly bad in comparison to some other places, and that's allowed us to sort of offer some of our staff and some of our equipment off to the adult intensive care units across London. Um, one of those being the Nightingale Hospital. So I volunteered to sort of be put where they need me, because I think if you've got the skill and you've got like the capacity to complete those posts, then I don't see why you shouldn't. So I've volunteered to either, well, to be put wherever really. Like I don't really mind where I get put, as long as it's of most benefit really. If I'm most beneficial to stay in my hospital, then that's what I'll do. If I'm more beneficial to go off into adult ITU or even to the Nightingale Hospital, then I'll be going there, I guess. As yeah, I'm staying put. Some of my colleagues this coming week have gone off to a different hospital. Um, there's a bunch of them that just they've put themselves out there. They've been the first ones that have been selected. They'll be the first ones to be leaving our little hospital and helping out. So I'm looking forward to the stories that they're going to be sharing. I think a lot of them are going to be quite horrific, but I'm pretty sure all my colleagues know that I have their back, and if they need to speak to me, then they could speak to me for sure. But I think not being so busy in pediatrics has kind of led to a lot of guilt as well. So it's nice that we have these opportunities to go out and support our colleagues in different areas. I'm really grateful that we have this opportunity. In relation to that as well, I guess a lot of places will be expanding their sort of like population allowances. So usually when you come into a hospital, you have to meet certain criteria to be admitted. So part of that process is deciding who is sick enough to come to either intensive care or into our hospital or whatever it is really. And the way that my hospital has managed this is to say yes to every pediatric case, and they're looking at extending that to taking a couple adults as well. And I think there's been a lot of work done behind the scenes to try and expand that to ease off of the workload that the adult intensive cares are under at the moment. I hope you're all well. I hope that you are looking after each other. Stay home and just keep washing your hands. Like, don't freak out. Just stay calm, collected, and look after each other.